special about the University of Illinois, of course, is I have such deep roots here, having lived here for 10 years and gone to school here, worked here, had my children born here. So it's very special for me to come back. The fact that the University of Illinois Press is publishing our third book and distributing our first two books, the fact that my company was doing the student ID cards for the university, how can that not be special?
The University of Illinois is a land-grant institution, and it's always been part of our mission to help educate. I think the original land-grant act essentially says children of working-class families. That's part of who we are, it's part of what we do. So that's exactly the goal of the Give Something Back Foundation, and we're just delighted to be partnering with Give Something Back.
What's really different about our kids, and I think that people in the audience are going to see that firsthand today, is that they've gone through really tough times. They've had to figure out how to cope with the most difficult challenges in their lives, and they've been able to do that. And having those skills in the real world when you're an adult is invaluable. And so I think it's a tremendous advantage for a great school like Illinois to bring in more and more of these kids who basically are growing up in poverty, and they can bring those experiences and educate the other students who have no experience with it.
I think a lot of higher ed, especially at the most selective schools, can easily become the province of children of pretty well-to-do families. That's who can afford to do it. That's who had, tended to go to really great high schools with lots of opportunities. And to the extent that those kids are here at Illinois, it's great for them to meet somebody who didn't come from that kind of background, but who's just as bright, just as smart and hardworking as they are, and understand what that life is like. We are here to celebrate a major gift to the university and the formal beginning of a partnership between the Give Something Back Foundation and the University of Illinois. Over the last 8 or 9 months, I've had a chance to work with Bob and with the foundation. And I have to tell you that I am truly impressed by Bob's understanding and the foundation's work in digging in and developing a really deep understanding of what it means for young people, particularly from working class families, to go to college. What are the obstacles they face? What are the challenges? What are the pitfalls? What are the benefits? And then with that good understanding of the reality, tailoring a program that really works. It works for students, it works for the institution. I think it makes a substantial difference in our country and in our world. Could I just ask all of you who are either Give Something Back current students or alums to stand so we can see who you are? Just make sure we know, all right? Great, glad to have you all here.
Well, U of I is it's a phenomenal university, and Give Something Back Foundation already sets these students up with a really nice opportunity. What I think U of I does is it kind of creates the possibilities to sort of explore, any career, any topic of interest. A university like this, you can change your mind 20 times. You're never going to pick a bad major or a bad program at the University of Illinois. And then, of course, on top of the fact that it's a top-notch school when it comes to scholastics, there's just a lot of social opportunities and growth for these students. And I find that the diversity on campus, both race, culture, and socioeconomic, is something that you're just not going to get on every campus. You have 40,000 students that come from all different types of backgrounds, and I find that's something really comforting about the University of Illinois. These students are going to find people that they're able to connect with in a way that maybe they've never connected with, ever before.
Hi, my name is Shannon Kegel, and I'm proud to say that I am a Give Something Back Foundation and University of Illinois alum. To understand how much that means to me, I think that it's important that I share a little bit of my backstory. I came from a single-family home with 4 siblings. My mom raised us on our own. While there was a lot of love in our family, one thing we always struggled with was money. There just never seemed to be enough to pay for all the bills. For that reason, for a large part of my childhood, we really relied on family and friends. There were periods in my life where I lived in extra rooms in aunts and uncles' homes, a basement of a close family friend. When I was really young, my view on how I was going to improve things for my family was a little bit young as well. I thought the lottery. I thought, I'm going to be a treasure hunter. I had read something that there's millions of undiscovered gold at the bottom of the ocean. This was my way of thinking of turning things around. Obviously, as I got older, junior high, high school, I started to think maybe education is the way to make this happen. Maybe a career, a profession, that this might be the more realistic approach to see a difference for myself and for my family. When I became old enough to start thinking about going to college, it was a scary time for my family. I am part of a first-generation group that went to school, myself and 2 other siblings, and it was a very foreign process for our family. We didn't know anything about FAFSA. We hadn't any experience with ACT prep courses. Visiting colleges, campuses, wasn't an option for us. We didn't have a reliable car. My mom didn't have the money to do that sort of thing. My first visit to the University of Illinois actually did not happen until after I had been both accepted and admitted into the university. Fortunately, it was an excellent fit, but that's one of the things that I love so much about the Give Something Back Foundation. Obviously, the foundation alleviates a huge financial burden and stress on not just the student, but also these families. But there's also the mentoring programs. There's also the workshops on how to navigate FAFSA. There's also help and resources with the ACTs, and there's student visits. The scholarship program does give the students the opportunity over the summer to visit the different universities and find out what's a good fit. I can't say how much demystifying that process and making it easier for the families financially and just navigating that really confusing process helps these families. And not just the student that receives the actual gift. A lot of these students have siblings, cousins, family that have never gone through this process before. Sometimes all it takes is one to break that barrier, knock down that gate, and to make this seem like something possible. And on that note, I'd like to share a personal story. When I was a sophomore in college, my high school sweetheart approached me and said he was thinking of going to school, to college. He had spoken to his mother about it, and she had told him that their family are blue-collar workers. College isn't for them. And I remember at the time, I know she loves him. I know she didn't mean it the way she had said it, but this is some of the barriers that these students are going through. And I'm proud to say that I know for a fact that that man went to school and got a degree. And the reason I know that is because I'm currently married to him today. And we have a 2-year-old daughter. And I know no one will ever tell her college isn't for her. This breaks barriers. This makes a difference for students, families, and generations beyond the student that receives the gift. So when I found out that 50 students, 50 families were going to have an opportunity to come to the University of Illinois, it was a very emotional moment for me. This is going to make a difference to these families, and the Give Something Back Foundation already gives so many tools and resources to help these students to succeed and to help them build their confidence and find their strengths. And when you pair that with a university like the University of Illinois, I really believe we're going to see some amazing things from these students. You've got a phenomenal campus here, wonderful professors. Some of the best lessons I learned came from this campus. I still remember my race and culture class and how that changed my view on things. And I know that these students, these smart, hardworking, resilient students are going to take the gifts from the Give Something Back Foundation and the university and make a difference, not just in their own lives, but in their families, in their communities, in their workplaces. So I'd like to take another opportunity to thank the people who've made a difference in my life, my family, the Give Something Back Foundation, the University of Illinois. I'm where I'm at today because of them. I am working as an attorney in the city of Chicago. I am very happy. My husband, my daughter, we're living in Lockport, and I still have the honor and the privilege to work as a mentor with the Give Something Back Foundation. I get to see a student go through this program and have this chance, this opportunity to make a difference. And I can't say what it means to me. I've been asked before, what does the Give Something Back Foundation mean to me? And it's changed throughout the years. It's never just one thing. When I was a freshman and sophomore in college, it was a financial relief on myself and my family, an opportunity to go through college and focus on my studies and the social opportunities and the experiences and learn about myself. And it's changed, it's evolved as I've worked through the program. For me right now, it's an inspiration. It's an inspiration to do more, to give back. I know Bob has said it before. I do feel like the thing that the foundation leaves all of the graduates, all of the alum with, is a desire to give 100%, whatever you're doing, in your families, in your communities, in your profession. You have a responsibility and an opportunity to do that, and I feel that you're going to see that with these 50 students. They are not going to disappoint. They're going to make a difference. So I'd like to say thank you again.
To me, what it means to give back is to give whatever you can, whether it be financial or, just volunteering or whatever means you have to, and put that effort or whatever it may be into a cause that you firmly believe in that is benefiting others. You have, in no way whatsoever does it benefit you, other than that you feel better as a person that you help someone else out. And that, to me, is what the definition of giving back is. Within my extended family, I am the first to go to college. I have a couple cousins, after hearing that I had been admitted here, that began associate's degrees in smaller community colleges. However, I am the one to go to a big university to achieve the bachelor's degree. And now, having almost completed my aerospace degree here, I plan on going out into the industry and doing the best I can there so that I too can accumulate enough wealth or, in my spare time, give back to the community. Good morning, everyone. My name is Alberto Davila, and I am a senior here at the U of I, studying aerospace engineering, and current recipient of the Give Something Back Foundation. I chose this school because of its renowned engineering program and the scholarships offered to me at the time. These scholarships have been vital to my education and remind me that they are generous, caring donors that want to invest in my aspirations and see students like myself succeed. To this day, I recognize the economic hardships that I had to endure to be where I am at today. These hardships have been one of my primary motivators to continue delivering the best quality work I can academically and to better myself as a person. I am also extremely happy and heart-touched to hear that Bob Carr is offering 50 more students the opportunity to pursue their dreams here at the University of Illinois. I hope to one day follow his and many other alumni's footsteps and donate to the University Scholarship Fund or to the Give Something Back Foundation. More importantly, I hope that the kid whose parents also sacrificed the most that they could so that they could better their children's education will receive the same support that I have received so that they too can follow their dream. Thank you.
I also want to echo my very strong welcome to each and every one of you to this historic and highly important event, and also this celebration. And of course, it is my great honor to welcome back our alum, Bob Carr. And let's give Bob and the foundation another round of applause. I just think it's very well warranted. These scholarships and all of the support that's provided through the mentoring represents a real chance for students like Shannon and Alberto to realize the American dream of going to college, finding a career, and having an experience that will be life-changing. So access to a college education, and particularly an education at a world-class land-grant university, cannot be limited by the ability to pay, and your career path shouldn't be determined by how much debt you must repay. It should be only limited by your willingness and your courage and your desire to learn. So Bob, on behalf of this entire community, I want to thank you and Give Something Back Foundation for your confidence and the trust that you've placed in this great university. And I can assure you, we will make sure that each and every one of your scholars have the mentoring, the support, and the outstanding educational experience that will truly transform their lives. And I know they will go out to also give something back to help uplift future generations. Thank you so much.
I couldn't be more pleased than to be able to do what I do. My life's work has become this. I do have business interests, but the business interests exist so that we can do more of this kind of thing around the country. And I have a number of really significant goals. They're significant, I think, to me as well as to the country. My book, Working Class to College, The Promise and Peril for Blue-Collar America, identifies one of the major problems we have in this country that's not talked about. And that is that there are 40 million Americans who have started college and not finished it, most of which have college debt and no degree. Why that has happened, it's a tragedy. It's a just wrong thing to happen. There's a whole lot of there's a combination of all kinds of reasons for it, many by very well-intentioned people who aren't forthcoming, or knowledgeable enough to be advising students on what to do. There are programs all over the country where scholarships are promised and not funded. The reason we're putting $1 million we have put $1 million into the University of Illinois is, God forbid something happens to our organization, the money is here. We're making a promise to kids now. You're going to go to college for free, and we don't have to worry about raising that money. And that's the way we've been doing it right from the beginning. And it's something I'm really proud of. I think people who make promises should be damn sure to fulfill them. And that's exactly what we're doing. Our kids are all going to go through school as long as they do their part of it. They don't have to worry about the money being there. Another thing that we want to do is to go deeper and deeper into the neediest of kids. We know that education is the way to break the cycle of poverty. It's also the way to break the cycle of incarceration. Who is in worse shape than a kid who has a parent in prison? It's not their fault, and especially if it's a mom. A lot of these kids grow up without a dad in their home. The kid who has an incarcerated father has a 19% chance of going through college, which is pretty bad, but mothers, 2%. When the mother's pulled out of the home and sent to prison, that child's life collapses. And it's really, really difficult to bring it back. So in a perfect world, all of our money in the future would go to these 150,000 children who have an incarcerated mom or who have had an incarcerated mom. And we would get them through college. And I know we can get them through college if we catch them early enough. The program that we have with the University of Illinois and with other universities throughout the country is a great program. It works incredibly well. But we also know, just with a little bit of work that we've done in South New Jersey, near Camden, that if we catch these kids early enough and tell them that they're going to go to college, that the money's in the bank to pay for their college, which it is, then that changes their whole attitude about life at a very early age. And already we are seeing an improvement in the grade point averages of these kids that are still in elementary or junior high, because now they're paying attention. So with that, I would like to ask Dr. Jones to come back up here. I have something that I'd like to give to him. We have to fund 50 students who will come here for $1 million.